Hello and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I'm Dr. K.L. Allen, Chancellor of WGU Ohio, and we're partnering with CDO Magazine, MIT, CDO IQ, and the International Society of Chief Data Officers in a series of interviews. Today, I have the absolute pleasure of talking with Dr. Ryan Whisler, Program Chair, IT at Western Governors University. How are you doing today, Dr. Whisler?
Doing great, Kale. Thanks for having me.
Hey, man, it's awesome to be able to chat with you today. I always want to talk about biggest challenges. And so, as your role as a program chair, what is your biggest challenge right now?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is like basically understanding where the market is going. That's like sounds like a simple statement, but there's a lot to that. I mean, students have perceptions of what degrees, what credentials, what certifications are going to help them get to the future of IT and where the jobs will be. Employers have views on that. You also have new technologies coming out daily, or new uses for old technologies coming out daily. And so I think the key is they're just trying to stay on top of that. And at WGU, we really make an effort to, I said an effort is an understatement. We are obsessed with how do we create products that will meet the student where they are today, but also give them that foothold for the future where the jobs are going. And so constantly staying on top of that is key. And one of the things that I've seen recently is we often talk about the frontiers of IT revolving around like some new technology like AI or ML or blockchain. And those are key. But what I think the future is starting to move more and more towards is having people that are well-rounded in multiple of those disciplines and can integrate them and think creatively about how to use them together. So each of those technologies, innovative in and of itself. And then I would also say just remaining nimble and flexible. And that is, in an IT world, that sounds straightforward, but there's a lot to it. I mean, every time you're building out a system, a feature set, a product, there's certain decisions you're making and you're committing to in that product. And it's not always easy to just go back and change it the next day or to have the product evolve. So just being able to meet your customer needs where you're at today, but also have an eye towards how are we going to flex and adjust as we go. And then a third one would be speed. And so like, we all want everything now. I do. Like I need my pizza to show up now. I need, like we all want it now. So how do we execute quickly? And sometimes that means that you execute towards a minimal set of tools or features, and then you build from there. So identifying like what is it that's the core value creation element of this product for our customers? How do I build that out and make it flexible enough that I can add on more features as I go? And so that's how you really can increase your speed. And in reality, it's really your perception of speed, right? Because you're not launching everything all at once or faster, but instead you're giving them something they can use and be happy with while you're adding to that, while you're upgrading the features. And so I think that's a major challenge for IT. And really, it's probably just the organization at large in terms of how they use IT.
Man, very great insight and challenges that I know that you will play a very pivotal role in solving. And you spoke earlier about being in the IT industry for 30 years. I mean, for one, to me, that shows a testament of who you are, your passion. And so, who or what inspired you, to pursue a career in IT?
Yeah, so I think initially it was really just I liked tinkering. I broke some things and I fixed them when I was young, and so that feeling of I fixed it or I figured it out would probably be a better way to even say that, really propelled me initially. But then I worked for some different leaders that really helped me see, I used to use the kind of this terminology of productivity enhancers. That's really what technology is. It's about making people's lives better. We don't just invent technology because it was kind of cool to do. We invent it because it makes our lives better. And so that kind of understanding, which came from those that were inside IT, some, but also those outside of IT, who just showed that a reason for an organization's existence and the way it creates value is really to help people through the products they create. And I always felt like technology, you can enjoy your job and feel like you're efficient and you get things done, or you can feel like you're kind of pushing rope uphill. And technology can make a difference there, a huge difference on whether you feel like it's working for you or you're working for it. And so that has kind of inspired me to stay focused in IT and really to think about what we could do here, and not, there's an element of IT that you've got to keep the lights on, you got to keep everything working, but I really am kind of enthused and energized by what we could do that's new. So
also good insight. Who do you look for to get advice or inspiration? I mean, because being in your role, it's a challenging role, being in IT, but as long as it's challenging. So who do you look to for advice and inspiration?
yeah, so it's an interesting question because I was just watching like some old interviews with Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, which, not new information, but honestly, it's like timeless because they're talking about like value creation and how you work through tough problems. And so those could be technical problems. Honestly, they could be some other kind of problem too. But I think you want to look at those who have been there and conquered that mountain before. The mountain may be different in your world of what you're conquering, but like Steve Jobs was not popular a lot of times, but what he got done was impressive, and he really changed the landscape of computing. And so those are the types of places I look. And I'll also throw out, like, I'm a huge Abraham Lincoln fan, so like I read some of his stuff, or I've read a lot of his stuff over time, and just his leadership style and how he brought people together when people didn't want to come together, and got so much done. So that's another source. He's not really a tech leader. but those principles, it's all about getting people together and working through things. So I think it fits.
It does fit, because I think more than anything else, we need to be able to come together to learn. And I think anything that brings us together makes us better. So, Ryan, I truly thank you today for joining me. Please visit cdomagazine.tech for additional interviews. And again, my name is Dr. K.L. Allen, Chancellor, WGU Ohio. Thank you.
Yep, thank you, Kale.